Vulture is looking back at the best releases so far in 2017. This list has been updated to include October releases. What is a single supposed to do? Can one song really change an entire worldview? Now that all music is easily available whenever we want it, how do we decide what we listen to? There's plenty of discussion about how streaming services have changed the way we consume albums, but the conversation around single songs is a little more discreet. So, this list is not meant to be comprehensive. It couldn't be. How could we reckon with every single great song released this year? Instead, it's a list of great songs that do what great songs have always done, illustrate the way we feel about the world and how we move through it. There's joy here, but there's bitterness and introspection and sadness too. Taken together, it says something about what it feels like to live in the world in 2017. A report to the shareholders, Kill Your Masters, Run the Jewels released on Christmas Eve of 2016. LP and Killer Mike's third joint collection under the Run the Jewels moniker arrived too late to be included on publication's Best of 2016 lists. An unfortunate circumstance. RTJ3 may or may not be the dynamic duo's best album, but it's a gleaming monster regardless, never more so than on a closing track with 2 sections and 3 tongues. After sober talk from Mel and Mike about solidarity and fear in a chilly, dire political environment in Part 1, and invocations of bitter, desperate aggression in Part 2, Zach De La Rocha leaps in at the finish with the Children of Men and Charlie Mingus citing verse fit to melt ice caps or kick off a nuclear winter. De La Rocha's been futzing around with an unfinished solo project for years, but if this track is any indication, he might be better off turning Run the Jewels into a permanent trio instead. Frank Juan, American Dream, LCD Sound System. A central point of the DFA-focused chapters of Meet Me in the Bathroom, Rebirth and Rock and Roll in New York City 2001 to 2011 is that label head and LCD Sound System frontman James Murphy is hard on other people. He demands a specific type of perfection, and usually that perfection closely follows his own personal preference. In the early days, everyone went to the same Murphy-approved therapist and wrote songs on the same Murphy-approved equipment. You can hear this dedication to structure in the music he made with LCD Sound System, which was a melancholy, joyful, and often brilliantly calculated career-length study on what it means to grow older while attempting to control your own destiny. The ending of the project, a series of sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden in 2011, felt like the right way to go out. So when they came back just a couple years later, announcing a full tour and even a new album, some fans felt betrayed, like their experience at MSG had somehow been diminished. American Dream, one of that album's singles, should erase all that bad will, though. It's a self-lacerating examination of getting older, shirking personal connection, and navigating the bad days when you look around and realize music and culture and art is going to keep moving, and you might not get to come along, at least not in the way you imagined. Sam Hockley Smith, Bad Liar, Selena Gomez. Picture Selena Gomez being a David Byrne fan, and the feeling being mutual. That is essentially the story of Bad Liar, one of the most intoxicating pop singles of 2017, which takes Tina Weymouth's funky bass line from Talking Heads' Psycho Killer, and gives it a sultry filter. Byrne might have given Gomez his blessing to cue suggestively about sexual attraction and temptation all over his classic, but we are the ones who are truly blessed. D-Locket, Bank Account. 21 Savage is his debut album. He's approved. There's more to Shia Joseph, the Atlanta rapper best known as 21 Savage, than listeners too eager to identify the artist with the grim-faced tales of assassination that made his name would have thought. Love songs, fame songs, and even trenchant social commentary ensured that Issa, though a less focused collection than last year's Metro Boomin-produced Savage Mode, was also less one-dimensional. It seems that Savage has untapped capacities when it comes to producing, as well. Bank Account, Issa's hit single, is produced entirely by Savage. With its rainy day guitar line stretched out over thumping 808s, the economical, elegant instrumental provides the perfect setting for his calm enumeration of new money. You get the clear sense that he knows how to present himself and enrich himself. Each feeds into the other as the beat strides on. FG, Big Fish. Vince Staples. The second lead single from Staples' recently launched Big Fish Theory resembles the rest of the album in sounding like nothing else. Bright, colorful, high-res digital chimes, globular synthetic bass, and a juicy J-hook frame the Long Beach rapper as he anchors himself in a world he barely managed to leave alive. Should have been dead broke, should have been chalked out, he notes calmly, then adds, but it didn't happen, now it's time to get it cracking. The song, like the album, is as futuristic as its rapturous reviews have made it out to be, but Staples is too sharp and too honorable to pretend that the future doesn't contain the past in it. His last words harken back to lines from Snoop Dogg in The Hook on North North, the classic track from Staples' 2015 debut, Summertime, '06. Free of illusions, he's nothing like Gatsby, but all the same Vince beats on Big Fish against the current, born back ceaselessly into the past. FG Blam, Drake and the weeks between its release and its unfortunate streaming by Kendrick Lamar's Damn, Drake's More Life playlist was the subject of much conversation. The gist of